Welcome to the Turning 65 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Robinson. Today we have with us Diane Langford.
Hello.
How are you? So you've been with us here at One Insurance for how long now?
11 years.
11 years. Yeah.
11 and a half.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. So, because you were doing Medicare even before you started with us.
Yes,
So you've been doing Medicare.
I started doing Medicare in 2011.
Okay, yeah. So 2016, so 15 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a long time. All right. So that being said, we're going to cover red flags when someone's coming to sign you up for Medicare. So things that sometimes our clients run into, they come back and tell us, hey, I experienced this, this, and this. Is this okay? Are agents allowed to do this? So first and foremost, people get inundated with phone calls, letters, and sometimes people knocking at your door.
Yes.
So can you explain how that even starts to happen when you're about to turn 65?
Okay, so insurance agents can buy a list of people in their area turning 65. Mm-hmm. So they have your name, they have your address, they have your birthday, and your phone number. Mm-hmm. If they buy the list with everything on it. So some of them will take that list, they'll knock on your door. Mm-hmm. Some of them will just call you nonstop. And others will send out postcards or letters.
Yeah. So we do the postcards and letters. Mm-hmm. But for us, our thing is not to harass people.
Correct.
Well, two things, not to harass people, and then also to stay CMS compliant. Yes. Because also the Medicare Advantage plans are regulated in such a way that you're not supposed to be knocking on people's doors to sell the Medicare Advantage, and you're not supposed to be calling them if they aren't a current client or someone who has agreed for you to call them.
Correct.
So what a lot of agents do is if you're selling Medicare supplement plans, it's not regulated the same way. So you can make the phone call, you can knock on someone's door, and what they do is they'll knock on the door, talk about Medicare supplement, wait for you to bring up Medicare Advantage, and then once you bring up Medicare Advantage, then that opens the door for them to then talk about Medicare Advantage. So it's a loophole for them to just start knocking on your door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which we don't really do that because it's just not our style of doing things. And it doesn't bode well long term because you become the people that knock on people's doors and harass them. And that's just not how we do things. So one of the ones I have here also is you get a phone call where the person's saying, I'm calling from Medicare.
Yeah, red flag immediately because Medicare is never going to call you. You know, if you have a question, you can call them, but they will not call you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another one I run into, which I had a client call me with this a couple of weeks ago, where she said the person says you have to enroll now, otherwise you're going to miss out on X, Y, and Z benefit. Now, when someone turns 65, they get the 3 months prior, the month they turn 65, and 3 months after.
Correct.
So if you're in that window, unless you're in the last couple of days of that window, there's no way that that's true.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, it would be October 15th to December 7th.
Yes.
So again, that's the AEP. So yes, if it's December 6th and they're saying that, then they might be correct.
Right.
But if you're about to turn 65 and you haven't quite turned 65 yet, and they say if you don't sign up for this now, you're not going to be able to get X, Y, and Z benefits, it's just untrue.
Yeah. Also, there's been a lot of phone calls, people calling to ask you if you have your A and B of Medicare. And then they will say, because we can look at, I don't know if they say we can look at your information or something like that, something to the effect that you may qualify. And I always hang up on them, just like the guys that are trying to sell the car insurance, things like that. But I'm just saying that I'm sorry, I'm losing my
one of the things that we've had people happen before, that has had happened to people, is they call and they say, hey, we're calling for Medicare, we're trying to confirm that you're set up for A and B, and then they start asking for your information as if they're looking you up in the system. So they'll ask, what's your name and address, Medicare number, blah, blah, blah. But once they have all that information, they can just sign you up for a plan and assign commission to themselves.
Yes.
And what has happened to people before is they get stuff in the mail and they go, what is this? I never signed up for this. But you did speak to someone on the phone who said, oh, well, let me look you up in the system. And in the process of looking you up in the system, they collect all of the information necessary to sign you up for something. So, I mean, that's definitely something that's come before.
Yeah.
Another one here is asking for your banking information.
Never give them your banking information. Never.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big red flag. For one, they don't need your banking information to set you up on an Advantage plan, because they should ask you if there is a premium on that Advantage plan. You can have that taken out of your Social Security check if you like, or yes, they can take it out of your banking. But they shouldn't go right, give me your banking information. Yeah. They're not giving you a choice. They're making it sound like, no, it has to come out of your bank account. So give me that information.
Yeah, for a supplement, I've done for a supplement where you take a check for the first month's premium. Mm-hmm. That sometimes happens with supplements. But even usually with supplements, I don't even usually do that. Advantage plans, we have never been involved in anyone's banking information in the 12 years I've been doing it.
No.
There's no reason for someone to be asking your personal banking information.
Right.
If they're setting you up for an Advantage plan. Another one is unsolicited phone calls. Again, we've kind of covered that a little bit, where, again, they're buying the list. So, and buying the list isn't inherently evil. Like I said, we do it too.
Right.
It's what you do with that information. And again, we send out postcards. We'll send out sometimes a card that looks like it's your birthday, or if it's your personal agent, we'll send someone a written note sometimes. Happy birthday, you're about to turn 65, X, Y, and Z. Some insurance companies will send out the kits with all of their information.
Oh, right.
So again, when you're turning 65, you're going to get
bombarded.
Literally 100 things probably in the mail over the course of that 7-month window.
Right.
From various.
And those people that are first turning 65, they have to be careful because they are getting a lot of mail, and a lot of it is solicitation. But oftentimes they're getting so much mail that they're kind of just chucking it off to the side. And I've had a couple of my clients that have accidentally either thrown away their Medicare card because that comes in the mail too, and they kind of go, yeah, this is another mail or another, informational something or other. They think it's the junk mail. Otherwise, they set it aside. I'll look at that stuff later. And they never get to it, not realizing that their Medicare card is in that pile of that mail that they're eventually going to go through.
And what's dangerous about that is now what a lot of companies are doing, and I've seen these. I had a client bring one out to me to show me because they thought it was something official from Medicare.gov. They send out these, they're really an advertising mailer, but it's in an envelope that has like, how the Medicare logo is like an eagle's head? Or the CMS logo is like the eagle's head and all that stuff. They'll send it out with like a logo that's similar looking. It's not the same logo, but it's similar looking. And the way that like the font and everything, the way that your name and address, is on the envelope, it looks like it's something official coming from the government. And it'll say, you need to make sure that you're set up for this and that with Medicare and make sure that you're receiving benefits, And it goes all the way down. At the bottom, it's a phone number. But instead of a government phone number, it's just a regular phone number. And then you find out later, oh, this was a solicitation the whole time. But what happens is a lot of people will sign up thinking, this is the government reaching out to me and I need to get this done immediately. Otherwise, I'm going to have a problem.
Right.
And then they do that and they're signed up for some plan that they didn't realize they were signing up for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And where it's really important, and this is for people that are already 65, if you sign up for, say, supplement during your guaranteed issue, right? And then one of these weird things happens and you end up getting signed up under an Advantage plan, you can have a very, very hard time getting back to your supplement, even if you didn't intend to sign up for that Advantage plan. Because after you pass your guaranteed issue, the supplement can medically underwrite you.
Right.
And it may be difficult to get back into it. 'Cause that was something that happened to my grandmother. She was on one plan, and somebody stopped by the house. And this was my grandmother. I think she was in her 80s at the time. Someone stopped by the house, talked her through, oh, there's this benefit, there's that benefit. And what they do is they'll talk to you about ancillary benefits, like dental stuff and vision stuff. And a lot of times people don't even realize they're signing up for health insurance because they make the whole conversation about
dental
you can
vision.
get X money on a card every month that you can use to buy groceries, and they do all this stuff. So it sounds like, oh, it's just like a low-income subsidy or Medicaid kind of thing. And really, they're signing you up for an Advantage plan. So then she got removed from the plan that she was on, and then my dad had to work to get her back onto the plan that she was on. So it's very important that you know kind of the basics of what people are and are not allowed to do to know whether or not something's a scam or not, because...
Right. Because those things affect you. Sometimes they can affect you for the rest of your life. Some people will try and do Medicare on their own, and it shouldn't be complicated, but
it is.
It is. It is. For the average person to dissect that and figure out what they're signing up for. But some think that, you get your Medicare and you got your supplement, you're good. Maybe your agent didn't tell you. Will you also need a prescription drug plan? And if you don't have one and you think, maybe some people aren't taking any prescriptions and they think, I don't need it, so I won't have to get it right now. I can get it later. Postponing that after you turn 65 and after you're done with your 3 months after your birth month, now you've gone into the penalty phase. And the longer you go without a prescription drug plan, then you're going to have that penalty, which does stay with you the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
Yes.
a disaster.
Yes.
So a lot of this is unnecessarily complicated, but that's kind of why we have jobs.
That's a
So
good
that's
way
important.
to put it. That's a good way to
So
put
what
it.
we're going to be doing moving forward with this podcast is we're going to be giving updates on sort of what you need to know. The next one we're going to do is kind of about how parts A, B, C, and D all work, and kind of explaining how that works. And we're going to make sure that people who have any questions can reach out to us, have those questions answered.
Yes.
And we're going to help everybody get set up for Medicare.
Good. Yep.
Thank you.
You're
This
welcome.
has been Turning 65 Podcast. Thank you.